Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure. We've got Leroy in the house. Thanks for coming in, man. I sure appreciate it. You had some internet trouble, you said, right? Like this was we were cutting it close.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Leroy managed just to get in under the hair of both of our chins. So yeah, thanks for coming in. I saw Chris Cajun Reseller was here earlier, said he was probably not going to be able to make it in, but he's going to rewatch. So Chris, thanks for stopping by, man. Always in and supporting me. I sure appreciate that. And Beth is already in here as well. So Beth, picking Georgia peaches. Thank you for stopping in, Beth. Tina is also here. Tina, thank you for coming in. I actually didn't push the show this morning on the video because I wasn't positive if Leroy was going to be able to make it or not. I didn't want to paint him into a corner in case he wasn't able to make it. Nikki T is in the house. Nikki T, thanks for coming by. It's always a party when Nikki T comes in.
Yes.
Leroy, thanks for coming in, man. How's your day been?
Busy.
Yep.
Busy. I'm always doing something. Sometimes I do side work and reselling as well. So, and flea markets. So it gets busy.
Yeah. So what is your if you've got a normal day, what does that look like for you?
A relaxing day or a normal day?
Well, how about a normal day?
A normal day, I leave the house at about 6:30, grab some coffee, come to the warehouse, or if it's a flea market day, I go to the flea market in the morning because some flea markets in my area are open. Like there's a Monday flea market, a Wednesday flea market, a Thursday flea market, Friday flea market, like all within like 30 miles.
Wow.
So either I sell or I go and I pick as well. So and then I got to come back. I had to get back so I can list some stuff to hit the eBay algorithm and get my shipping out. So, and then I usually try to get some more stuff and because it's tools, I got to clean them. But a lot of us have to clean stuff, sneakers and stuff like that. So
I got some sneakers in the washing machine right now, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, and then I try to catch up on my videos if I'm not on a show, or I trying to catch up on my shows.
Well, for a guy that doesn't actually have YouTube videos out there, you're on a lot of YouTube channels, man. You've got like an incredible YouTube presence, and you don't have videos.
I have 67 subscribers on my YouTube channel. No content, but
you're on all these other people's channels.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So whose channels are you sort of regularly on?
There's been a lot of new ones. So I mean, a few times I've been on Harry Tornado's twice.
Okay.
I actually met him. He came to my warehouse, so we did like a live meet and greet type thing. I've been on Joey's, I think once or twice. Cats. Mm-hmm. The Nurse Flipper. I'm sorry, Joe Better being the Nurse Flipper. I gotta say it so everybody understands. I don't know. There's a few others. Oh, I've been on Buffalo Pickers twice, so I've been around.
Yeah, Annie is in here. Helena Flips is in. So Annie, thanks for stopping by. Joe is in here as well. Thanks for coming in, man. You're building up. We usually take about 10-15 minutes to build people in here. And Nikki T is right. You're an amazing part of this community and incredibly supportive. So that's why you have subs without even having videos. That's what it is. And we're Beth says get some videos up. We're working on that. It's coming. I know it's coming.
There's a lot of peer pressure, Beth. But I got a lot of people on my corner, and there will be one. There will be one soon.
We got Russell Sandridge is here. Russell, thanks for stopping in. Hey, my buddy Mark is here. Mark, thanks for stopping by, man. Mark is in town with me and a great supporter and a good friend. I've learned a lot from him. I wish I could find some of the stuff that he finds. Let's see who other. Yeah, we're picking up some people here. So, how about your Steelers, man? While we wait for people to show up, the last undefeated.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I got two championships since I'm old enough to know better. And I just my thing is I like to see them make it to the playoffs. Um, I'm not like I don't really dislike any team except for the Patriots. I was born and raised in Rhode Island, so I had a lot of people that up north they're really tough with pro football. It's not like I live in the South now and it's a lot of college football, but up north pro football is really strong. And if you like anything but the Patriots, they look at you like you're weird, and it's a little uncomfortable and it's a little disrespect at the same time. So I'm just excited I'm not there, and I'm excited that my guys are doing good and they're going to make the playoffs. That's what I have.
Yeah, and it's kind of was that expected? I mean, I don't know if that was entirely expected. Was it at least the start that you've had?
Ben had almost a year off last year.
Yeah.
And they built up a pretty good backing for him, and the defense stayed strong last year. Even though they went through like 4 quarterbacks, they still stayed strong.
Meanwhile, my Cowboys are just sad.
Yeah.
It's a bad team right now. It's a really bad team right now. It's unfortunate that group fell apart. It's no good. But my fantasy team's doing good, Leroy, so I'm okay with that.
I haven't done that yet either, Troy. But we'll talk about that.
We got to set you up with that too. Leroy, you are active though on Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
I'm very active
on Instagram.
Yeah, I try to do Instagram probably 1 or 2 times a day. Some days I don't, but I try to do a lot on Instagram. Yeah, I trying to get up to 1,000 followers on Instagram. I got 600, so
you'll get there because you put up like pictures and stuff, but you put videos on Instagram.
Yeah, and I've done 2 lives, and the thing is, like doing your videos, and you had said something about me being on other channels. For me, it's all practice for when I do my channel. So I'm on somebody else's channel, but I'm learning, and then to me, it's practice. Like I got to mute this, and I got to do it this way, put the screen this way. I got to put a certain light on this side, and a lot of people don't realize the little things that are behind it. So
yeah,
I feel like if I can keep doing videos and doing live videos on Instagram, it will help me get better when I do my YouTube videos.
We got Joey Bada Bing popped in. So there's my man, Joey. I thought I scared him off with that Halloween ghost show. He was in there like a half hour beforehand and then vanished. So I thought, maybe, the ghost got him, but he's back. I saw DC Sells is in here. Louie is in here. Lone Star Picker. Thanks for coming in, guys. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, Dee says she likes your flea market photos.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if anybody has any suggestions or any questions about my flea market stuff, please put it on my Instagram. And I'm going to jump into this, Troy.
Just do it because I want. Yeah, what do you want to hit tools or you want to hit flea market?
We're going to go to flea markets first.
All right, do it.
All right. So I was talking to Troy and a lot of other people that people say, oh, well, I don't have flea markets, and that's probably possible for a lot of you guys. And I'm apologizing, but I apologize for that. But sometimes it all depends on where you live. You live in a weird area. Everybody they can have yard sales. You might not be able to have a yard sale at your house because you're like off the beaten path, but your sister-in-law, your mom and dad, or a relative, or a family member that has a little restaurant, or if they own a real estate company, like there's a lot of people out there that you're close to that you could say, hey, do you mind if I have a little yard sale, just trying to get rid of some stuff at your facility? I'll give you $10, or you give them a gift card for dinner or something like that. And you'll be surprised, guys, that you could still go. Yes, you can't go to a flea market like where I go, but you can definitely do a yard sale and start your own little thing. And you can do tours. Like I've paid for people to let me have a yard sale at their house. I've paid for, in front of their business. You just gotta be, honest and explain to them, hey, I don't really have them in my area. And, you guys would be really surprised. And then if you start putting on Instagram, you'll get followers at that area.
Yeah. So you do, I mean, the flea market is that, I know you do eBay, but flea market is a big part of your reselling. That's a big part of what you do.
Yeah, I'm trying to cycle through inventory. So when I moved from up north, meaning Rhode Island, I moved to South Carolina, and I still have a lot of inventory. So I'm trying to move through it and get some new inventory. So the easier way, besides giving it away, for me is to sell it at the flea markets. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you make really good money by doing that and putting stuff on, like, $1 a piece, $3 a piece, stuff like that. You're making it up in volume at those things. You do really well.
Yeah, and a lot of people that they don't realize that I did this weekend. I do it probably once every 6 weeks. I'll do a $5 table, a $3 table, a dollar table. Today I had not today. The other day I had 4 tables. So I had a $5 table, a $3 table, a $10 table, and I had a $1 table. And what I do is I price most of my stuff, all of my stuff. I price it. It's all priced on my table normally. So I just go through all the bins and I look and I say, okay, that's a 5, that's a 3, that's a 10. And if it's a little high, a little low, it doesn't matter. And I sell it for that price. I'm not giving you any deals at that point, because
Right.
you're getting an item that is ticketed for $6. You're getting it for 3. So I usually stick with my guns on that. But I'll tell you, like, it turns, like, I did 350 this week, and it was just I just push that stuff. I don't pay much for it. What I do, Troy, is I buy it from a bunch of different places, but I like to do estate auctions, not estate sales. So I've been reselling for a long time, and I've been sort of hooked on auction zip. A lot of people sort of push away because auction zip is like the old dog. Auction zip is the old dog. Like, that's the old dog. Like, that auction. I've been working with auction zip for 10, 15 years. And I still use auction zip. And you guys would be surprised. A lot of these old auctioneers, the better companies, they have a little bit of money behind them. They'll pay. So you have to pay to put your listing now on auction zip. So they'll pay to put their auction on auction zip. And auction zip, you type in your zip code. It's sort of like it's like a lot of the other auction places online.
And so primarily when you go and you buy the stuff on these auctions, is it tools for the most part? I mean, is that really all? Is that all you do, or do you do anything else?
No, I do a lot of other things. I like to try to get into other things, but tools is what I know, and I don't even know a ton about that. I mean, just to be honest, there's so many different avenues with tools. If you like, you guys, if you do sneakers or t-shirts or glassware or golf clubs, I mean, you guys know a lot about that, but there's a lot you don't know.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of tools that I just don't really know a lot about, but I do tools. I try to dabble in some of the other things that I see a lot of other people in the community pick up. I try, but the joy is not there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that. I've tried other things like, hey, I know people are making money with this, and you get them, and then you're excited to get them. And then when you get it, you're like, I don't want to go through it. Like, I don't feel like doing it,
It just sits there. I mean, you make money off it. I mean, if a lot of you guys follow me, I'm from South Carolina right now, and we have the Dream Deals that everybody is going to, and I'll go, and I've gotten like supplements and stuff like that, and I've done well on them. Like, I bought them for $0.25, and I've sold $0.25. That's the Boston accent. But I bought them for $0.25, and I've sold them for $8, $15. I mean, to me, that's decent money, but my heart's not in it.
Yeah. Beth says that there's your videos is estate auctions. I don't see any videos about those, and I'm curious. and Nikki T is with her. So I think she's right. If you started doing videos, teach people about doing estate auctions, it's a great idea.
Yeah, and that is a thought. Thank you very much, guys.
Because yeah, I mean that's a spot where I think a lot of people don't have a lot of knowledge. So
I looked up too flea markets. There's really not a ton of people that do
yeah,
start to finish like me flea markets.
I think you've got a built-in niche with what you do because you're doing something that's so different from what a lot of other people are. And I would love if I was able to do the flea markets because either sourcing or selling. I mean, I think it's a great. I do a garage sale once a year and kind of clean out some old inventory and stuff like that. But to be able to sort of constantly cycle like that, you're keeping cash flow constantly.
Yeah, and you do, and you also like I said, I source at flea markets and estate auctions. I love sourcing at flea markets. My flea market stuff goes on eBay. If I source
Okay.
estate sales, it's eBay and the flea markets. But when I'm sourcing at flea markets, it's mainly for eBay. And down here, I've been doing. Please, guys, follow me on Instagram. I've been doing really. I probably in the last month, I've probably found about 8 things that were worth over $100,
Wow.
and that was like something I paid like either $10 or $12 for, $15.
Jennifer Hayes is in here saying hey. Jennifer and Frank got it before I did. How's your wrist doing? Jennifer had pretty good wrist injury, and she was there like I think she was in my chat either that day or like the next day or something. She's in here like sharing links and all that stuff. She's like, "Oh, I just broke my wrist. It's not. Come on." No,
Jennifer, I always try to keep in touch with her and check on her, see how she's doing.
Underdog Picker is in here. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you. So Leroy, when you do the stuff at these flea markets, is that stuff that's been sitting and is stale in your eBay and you're like, you know what, I just need to get rid of it? Or do you get stuff when you pick it up knowing I'm going to buy this and I'm going to sell it at the flea market?
I keep it flowing. So I'm going to be honest, like I go to a lot of flea markets and the stuff will be the same stuff for weeks and weeks and weeks. I do like I had mentioned, I'll start it off, I tag it all. And it all has its own price and it's all over the place. And then I'll switch it. Then the next time I'll drop the price and I'll do just a table. And you pay whatever the amount where that item is on the table. And because I've moved my items around so much, I know what I have. If any of you guys see my Instagram, I don't know how many tools, but I'd like to count one day if I had time. But I'm gonna say probably about 300 to 400 pieces, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
And I put them all out. They're not in a bin. I put them all out. They're all priced. So, it all depends. I mean, but I like to, even if I get something new and I know it on eBay, I can get $13 for it. I'll still sell it at the flea market for $7 because I like to keep my customers. I have a customer base and I'd like to keep my customers looking. I don't want them to say, oh, he had that same stuff 2 weeks ago, but I don't go to the same place every week. I jump around. I'm sort of like a gypsy in that sense.
But you don't have you don't have to worry about shipping it. You don't have to worry about returns. You don't have to worry about fees.
No.
I mean, so taking that pay cut, that's fine.
Yeah. And I can answer a question for you that's going to come up soon is how much you pay for a table. That I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on where you are. If you're at a better flea market, you're going to pay more. Right now, where I currently live, I pay about 16 for the highest table I'll pay is 16. The lowest table I'll pay is 5. So between 16 and 5. I've gone to places like in New Jersey when I was coming back home. I'll pay $100 for a spot.
Wow. Yeah, those lower. I mean, if $5-10. I mean, you're a couple tools and you've paid off your table. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah, but sometimes, Troy, I'll tell you, I only make $30,
Yeah,
and sometimes I'm
yeah,
like $330. Yeah, not often, but it happens, and I'm glad that it happens because it puts me in a place to know that you're not always gonna do good.
yeah, yeah. But you've always got that cash flow going. I think that's super important. Louis says he's paid up to $60 for a 10 by 10.
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep.
And yeah, and Dee says she's been selling in flea markets for 18 years. Yeah, it's just a world I don't know about other than videos and looking at Leroy's Instagram feed and stuff like it. Like I get it, like intellectually I understand what it is. I've just never been to them. Uh, and I would love to. Um,
What's the closest flea market that you know of to you?
I don't know. I mean, we have sometimes they call them like flea markets, and essentially they're a craft show or like
Swap meet.
yeah, and
Well, those you'll do really well at, you know.
we have had like once a year somebody will have essentially a flea market because it's like at a church and so they get a whole bunch of people together like once a year, but there's nothing that's like a standing every Wednesday at this time or every Saturday or so I guess I take that back. I have been to like the pop-up, like, hey, we're going to do this, but not that standard, every week there's something here. That would be nice. It'd be nice to be able to go and to be able to sell there. But it takes a lot of work. I mean, you're setting up when it's dark, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing. I started off with swap meets, and I've been doing swap meets in flea markets for probably about 20 years. Um, so I have it down, and I have to have different things, like depending on where I go. And I've mentioned this before. To most people it's not a big deal, but to me, I'll go to a place and I can't have my tables in a circle. I have to have my tables uh, in an L, or I can't have them in an L. I have to have them in rows. So, when I get there, it's like the game changer. Okay, well, how am I doing it? Do I have my leaves? Do I have enough tables? I use drop tables. Like there's a lot into it, guys. There
Yeah,
really is.
yeah. Louis said, and I was talking with Leroy before we started about that a little bit. I was thinking as I was driving home today, knowing that I was going to be talking with Leroy tonight. It's like, you know what, we don't really have those, but I wonder if you could somehow get it started, right, and get that ball going a little bit, so people got that familiarity, knowing they're going to go, they're going to get a great deal, and then you can move out some of your stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think next year it might be something I look at. I mean, right now it doesn't work. I mean, our weather's getting ready to change, so it doesn't work here most of the year. But during the summer, spring, summer, early fall, I think we could do it. I'll hit up Leroy to find out how we get these things going.
Yeah, please do. And again, I always mention it. Anybody can. I might not get back to you right away. You might have to message me a couple of times. Like Troy said, I'm sort of busy, but I really care about this community, so I try my hardest to keep it moving.
Yeah, well, and that's it. I know you care about the community, man, and as you said before, you care about your customers, and I mean, you're just I don't want to ruin the rep you got there, the tough guy rep, but man, you are just such a kind man, dude. Like you're just a nice guy.
What are you doing? You can't do that.
He's got the Steelers, he's got the beard, he's got.
When people see me, but I will. I'm up from up north. So if I have to put you in your place, I'm gonna put you in your place. And a lot of people down here in the south, they don't get it, and I don't do it in a mean way. But if I'm not happy with you or something, I'm gonna figure it out and introduce myself the right way so we can have a proper relationship, because that's what I'm all about. I want to build relationships and help people as well. It's not all about Leroy and Leroy's flea markets and Leroy's eBay and Leroy's issues. It's about you guys, and I just want to always try to help you guys and teach Troy. Troy teaches me, and teach a lot of people in this community, because we have a small niche here, but we have a great niche.
Yeah. Yeah, and Dee points out, and I know she's right, that flea markets get regular customers, So you have people probably coming to you going, hey, do you have, this size socket, or, I need a monkey wrench, that you've got guys, don't you?
Yeah, I do a lot of one-offs. So all my stuff is used. So if anybody doesn't know, I most of my stuff is used. I buy it in box lots. So a lot of my stuff is one-offs. So it's not, I don't have a lot of them that's all used. So they know if they don't grab it now, they're not going to get it next week.
Right.
Because Troy's going to come along and be like, oh, I needed that for my tool belt or for whatever. And then a lot of them will ask me, hey, when's your next auction? So they'll know when I'm going to an auction.
We're gonna up. Yeah, I like it.
They know that they got to keep in touch or they'll ask me, when are you coming back? Because I mentioned to Troy, I don't go to the same place all the time. I probably jump around right now between about 5 places in a month.
Yeah, you're a busy dude, man. I don't know how you do it all. Yeah, SSK Promos says I love this community. Yeah, it really is a very, there certainly there is that subset, right? That's like, why are you doing videos? Why are you telling people you're ruining things? Yeah, that's just the loud minority, I think. I think there's a lot more people that are appreciative. At least to me, they have been.
Yeah,
and, I assume to you as well.
Yeah, and it's all about your personality. And Troy, you had said, I'm a likable guy. I don't really toot my own horn, but I try to be the best guy that I can. And if that's likable to you guys, then that's what I am. And I do that with my customers. If I don't see them, if I go to a certain flea market and 3 times in a row, and I got someone that religiously buys from me, I'll ask them, hey, is everything okay? I haven't seen you. How are you doing? And that goes a long way. And like, if their kids are there, I'll give their kids a treat or whatever. All that goes a long way. I have people that come to my flea market that, and this is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is probably on a regular. I will have people that will buy from me just because I'm there. I know these people have 200 times more than I have, and they will buy from me because I'm there. When I went back up north, I haven't been up north for a year. I haven't sold up north in a year. When I was up north in October, in September, they were my old customers from the flea markets, and they would buy from me just because I was there.
Yeah, well, you got a fan base, man, and it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Leith is wondering if you use Ladson Flea Market.
I'm sorry?
Do you use Ladson Flea Market? I think that the Leith is asking you that.
Is that a flea market name?
I don't know. You're the flea market wizard, man. What is that, Leith?
Do I use Ladson Flea Market? If you don't mind, could you just explain that a little bit? I don't know if that's an online thing. Is that a local flea market in my area?
Yeah. What is that? Yeah, Tina says people aren't afraid to share. Yeah, that's you're right. I think it's a neat thing. And I wanted to ask Leroy. I mean, Leroy is all about the tools. And he says it's in Summerville, South Carolina.
I have not, and I will definitely try to look it up. And I wanted to say hello to Family Flips. Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, we just got Family Flips in here. I don't know if it's Joe or Jessica. It's probably Joe. Jessica's got better stuff to do than to hang out. Joe's probably bored. I love you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. I always try to keep contact with those guys.
Yeah, they're very, very good people. Talk about good people in the community. They're right there. Good people in the community. At least says Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, I'll definitely look it up, and please give me a message on Instagram, so I can let you know if I'm going to be in that area. So maybe we can meet up.
Look, we got Jessica tonight. We got the real. We're just going to leave that one up there. Usually it's just Joe, but we got Jessica tonight.
Hi, Jessica.
Yeah, if you guys want to find out about, that's another niche, another area about, pallets and unboxing and stuff. Family Flips, that's stop number one for you, is go and check them out. And Jennifer is right on top of it as usual. And just to show you, she's already posting a link. So Jennifer, thank you very much. And yeah, go check out the Family Flips. They are fantastic. So how did you fall into tools? Like, why is that the area that you know? Why is it the area that you love, Leroy?
I try to make it different every video, so I don't want to do different interviews and it's always the same boring interview.
I don't mind.
I'm gonna give Troy the good one then. So I went to a lot of flea markets and stuff like that, and I would go and guys would say, "Oh, where are you getting your stuff?" And I would tell them, "Oh, I get it, from yard sales." I would go to yard sales and I would buy the rest of their tables, and it wasn't tools. It was just whatever I could get for $40. And I'd go to the flea market the next morning and, triple my money. And then somebody was like, "Oh, you got to go to estate auctions." And I went to a couple in Connecticut. Believe it or not, a lot of used workable tools were made in New England. Rhode Island, there was a plant. Connecticut, there was a plant. Massachusetts, there was a plant. There was quite a few plants of very good tools that are still made this day in New England. And I went to this auction and I had a little Kia Optima. And I remember it. I've said it on Emily Conway's channel. I remember it. I was driving home and I didn't know if I was going to make it home because I couldn't fit nothing in the vehicle and it was so overweight. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I had, people talk about crates of records. Well, I had crates of saw blades. Okay. And I was buying table lots. I was cherry picking the table lot and giving it to a junk collector because I couldn't get it all in the car. And then I went to the flea market the next day. I think that auction, to be honest with you, I spent a lot. I think I paid $700. The first flea market I did out of that stuff, I made over $1,000. And then I still had stuff for 3 or 4 more flea markets and some. And I just went to another one after that. It was the same thing. It was majority tools. And I just cleaned up. And I've done construction for over 15 years. So I have a knack for it and I know stuff. I was actually a union laborer for 15 years. So I really wasn't, I say I wasn't skilled, but I would have to hand the guys their tools. And most of the time, most of the stuff I sell guys is used hand tools, not power tools.
Okay.
So not battery operated. It's all, I get it and I'll flip it. Absolutely. But I do get a lot of, just hand tools. And so I've seen a lot of that stuff, a lot of specialty things that carpenters, plumbers, masons, a lot of their tools I've handed to them over and over again. So that's sort of how I got my passion for it.
Okay. And tools are something we had Julian on a while back and talked with him about them. And it's a great niche if you're gonna fall into something, or at least learn a little bit more about something, because you can go to estate sales or garage sales and there's a lot of hand tools sitting there that have been sitting there all day because people just walk past them.
Yep. And you can lot them up, guys. You don't have to get one that's going to be a cream of the crop. You can also lot them up and sell a bunch of different sockets. And there's a lot of people, especially now, that are out of work and they can't get a plumber to their house, or they can't afford a carpenter, or they can't afford a mechanic. So I'm giving you guys a bolo, and I haven't told anybody this. Like, if I was you, I'd probably start getting some tools, because as the economy is trying to build back up, people can't afford. Christmas is coming, so people aren't going to go to the mechanic. They're going to go on YouTube and they're going to try to figure out how to put their own water heater in,
or
put their own radiator in, and they're not going to have the tools, and they're not going to go to Walmart, Home Depot, and get them. They're going to come here on YouTube. Here on eBay. Well, eBay. So, guys, don't be afraid. Like, I'm not saying you're going to make $1 million on tools, but I wouldn't be surprised because of everything that we're going through. That it's not going to pick up a little more.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And yeah, people are going to start doing a lot more stuff themselves. So what are, Leroy, what are some of the tools that we need to look out for? Because just like anything else, there's a lot of junk out there. So
Yeah.
it's don't go up and buy up everything, because there's a lot of tools that they're junk. They're not worth anything. You won't be able to sell them, or you won't make any money. But what should we be looking for?
I mean, you're going to hear a lot of Craftsman. Um, Craftsman. I'm not a huge fan of Craftsman, but I've made some money on Craftsman. Um, you look into your hand tools, some of your woodworking tools. Stanley has a lot of older stuff that could be thousands of dollars, but there's also stuff that you can get and you can buy it for $1 and sell it for 15. Stanley levels, Stanley planes. I bought an old Stanley plane that it was a pole plane, and you put both hands on it and you pull it to make a dovetail. And to be honest with you, Troy, you made a good point. I actually have probably, oh goodness, probably 10,000 pitches still from when I was doing I mean, I've been doing eBay, but from 4 or 5 years ago. And some of my good pieces, I think I should pull those out so I can make a clip, so I can show people what to look for, because I know what they paid and what they were.
Right.
So Stanley, um of course, Snap-on is a top of the line mechanic tool. So you got Snap-on for mechanic tools, you got Mac, you have SK. And if you see a lot of those like SK, Craftsman, if you see them in sets, grab them. If they're loose and you're not sure, but if you see them in a set, if it's a 6-piece set, a 12-piece set, a ratchet set, but it's missing some, grab those. Those will get you into the game.
Okay.
Those will definitely get you into the game. Sometimes just the boxes, the tin boxes, a lot of them come in small tin boxes. I sell the tin boxes and I'll make $13 on the tin box. So
even the stuff that's not super high end, like I bought earlier this summer, it was Kmart, like it was branded Kmart, but it was a vintage made in the USA Kmart. Just a small in a tin, a socket set.
Yep.
Not very big at all. And I think I sold it for 20 or 25 bucks plus
and
shipping.
You bought it for $4 or something.
Yeah, I think it was $3 or $4.
Yeah, and that's why I said that. And I try to make it real on every time I do a video with someone. And these are things that just come up in my head, but that's something I haven't really shared. Grab sets. If it's a small set, not a big, huge, 10 to 100 piece set, and it's Taiwan, you're not going to do anything with that. But if it's like a Craftsman set, a Snap-on set, Mac set, if it's an old Sears set like Troy set or a Kmart set, a lot of those are sort of like specialty. If it's like a 7-piece set, 8-piece set, they're all specialty sets. And please keep a lookout for those. That's in mechanics. And then if you go into plumbing, there's rigid. And again, look out for rigid sets. There's a lot of rigid pipe fitting stuff that is very expensive. A lot of the taps and dies and stuff like that, they're all good money. And you have Plum, which is a part of it's Plum, I think. I don't know how to spell it, but that's another company for plumbing stuff. Let's see, rigid. I'm a little off on that one, guys.
There's a lot to know, man. More than that. See, Gravity Goods is in here, another Steelers fan. So you got more steel curtain in the house. Gambit store swung in. Hey man, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I saw chicken fried steak in here earlier. Thanks for coming in. Nikki T is wondering what your biggest lesson learned so far from reselling is.
Don't buy too much stuff. I'm kidding, Nikki. We learn every day. So my probably about my biggest thing is like, don't overdo it. Like you could get really into it and you can get really like just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So don't overdo it. And if you're not sure, because our community is so awesome, reach out to me. If you need to know about baseball cards, reach out to Rev. If you need to know about Makara, reach out to Nikki. I mean, like everybody is so close together that don't go and get it if you're not sure.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's probably, if you put a Instagram out, I've done it, and said, "Hey, should I buy this?" You're gonna get a message within like 5 minutes, like, "No, don't get that." Yeah, where'd you look for this? Look for that. So don't be afraid to put it on your Instagram, and it's like your own little shout out to a couple of, not a couple. We all have quite a few followers, and
Yeah.
and that will help you a lot.
Yeah. Crowdsourcing. I put out there today. I picked up a minor league baseball hat, and I know it's minor league baseball, and eventually I can scroll through them all and I can find what that logo is. But it was a cool hat. I liked it. I picked it up at Goodwill, but I wasn't sure who it was, and so I put it out there on Instagram this morning, saying, "Hey, it looks like a dog, a bear. I don't know what this is. It's minor league baseball. Who knows who this team is? Crowdsourcing." And within like an hour, somebody, they didn't even follow me. They just found the tag and saw the photo, and said, "Oh yeah, it's from Peoria. That's who that is."
Yeah.
And sure enough, they're right. And I was able to list it, and it's ready to go. That's awesome. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Yeah, definitely. Troy, I was gonna ask. I mean, we're about 45 minutes in. Is there any like exciting tools that anybody has found in the chats? Like, has anybody in the chats found something cool or weird, or when they were a kid, their grandfather or their dad used something weird?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's got the weird tools? And Joe said, he says, thanks for sharing. He's taking notes. Going to look out for these brands next time he's out hunting. And is brand with tools? Brand is very big, just like it is with women's fashion. The brand is everything, right?
Yeah, it is everything. But it's everything to someone who knows about them. But if it's somebody who doesn't know about tools, they'll go to Harbor Freight and buy it. But if they know, that's why I say like tradesmen's, and that's why I try to explain to you guys. Um, a lot of people are out of work as well. Yes, people are going to be doing their own work, but yes, people are actually out of work, so they have to sell their tools. Like I said, I was in a union, and I was around hundreds of guys every day, and I haven't been up north working, but I know a lot of them unfortunately lost their jobs, and
Yeah.
They sell what they can, but their tools have to go.
Yeah. Louis, yep, it was it was the Peoria Chiefs, and it's a green hat, so it threw me off. Yeah, the Peoria Chiefs. It's got the dog on there. It's a green hat. It's a really cool hat. I was glad to pick that up and glad to be able to ID it. Gambit, thank you very much. I sure appreciate that. I appreciate you're always coming in and commenting on stuff, man. I sure appreciate it. And anything, everything says, shout out to both of you. Great content. Nerf is another great bolo item to flip, especially from garage sales, since they're typically cheap. Yep. Once paid a quarter for a blaster and flipped it for $55. Yeah, Nerf, it's one of those things that tends to hold some value. And like tools, the old ones, that's what people are looking for. The stuff that aren't made anymore. If it's made in the USA, it's a good idea to at least look at it, right? If it's
But there's some made in the USA that like Wilson. Sorry. There's some made in the USA stuff that Williams, and there's a couple other names that they're worth like decent money, but like I said, the sets. You guys want the
Right.
sets.
You have the
It
complete.
doesn't have to be complete, but if it's a set and it has the box, grab that. That's usually what you want to grab, and you'll see them. You'll see them all over the place.
Yeah. And so when we're talking about tools, like I think something that we're going to see a lot at like garage sales or estate sales, stuff like that, probably wrenches and sockets, right? Like those are the things you're going to see a lot. Uh,
Yeah,
if you're picking those up, and you named some of the brands to look out for, the SK and the Snap-on and the Craftsman. I think Blackhawk is one that's not bad. Um, Grab them if you can get them cheap. But is there like on those like the really big stuff? Are those ones like big ones or very small ones? Are there certain ones that we should just look out for more?
there's a lot of mini tools. So if you go into smaller channel locks,
Yeah,
smaller vice grips, smaller is better in a lot of things. You guys got to realize there's a lot of jewelers, there's a lot of gunsmiths, there's a lot of tin knockers, a lot of the small stuff that's made, and just craft people. They will buy a small hammer or a small screwdriver or a small file, or they have a collection. So some people they don't have enough room to have every vice grips that they have, all different styles. But if it's mini, they can have 80 pieces on one wall that's 5 by 5.
yeah.
So
That's
they're
the ones they're going to lose too,
collective.
right?
I'm sorry, sir.
Those are going to be the ones that they lose too and need to replace because they're
Yeah, but there are collectors for those, so that
yeah,
you have a lot of workable tools, which I work with, but then you also have a lot of collectible tools what people collect, and it's just like I say this all the time. It's just like people can't afford porcelain signs, and they'll get a damaged one or one that's not 100% because they had it, and that's what they can afford.
yeah. And Leroy, man, you don't have to give me a super chat in your own interview. Um, that's a first. So thanks for doing that, man. Nikki is right. You are awesome. So thanks so much, man. That's so cool. Gateway Pickers, thanks for coming by. Sure appreciate it.
And Philly Pickers was talking about a saw he found last year.
Yeah, here we go. Found a saw last year, and it turned out to be a Civil War era bone saw. I guess that would be considered a tool. It works for me.
Those are again planes, meaning wood planes, saws, levels. There's a lot of Stanley stuff that you could get really hurt if you don't know about them, meaning buying and selling, or you could do really well. I'm not 100% like positive or 100% comfortable with some of that stuff, so I sort of stay away. But I've sold just a bandsaw for $85.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it in a box lot. I probably paid a quarter for it, and I sold it to somebody in up in Canada, and I was shocked.
Yeah, Joe, did you sell that saw? I'm just curious, like what something like that, what the value of that is. Just the historical value is incredible, but and my guess is in your area you can probably find some of that stuff, which is neat.
Yeah.
I started this summer learning a little bit about crosscut saws, actually, because I see those at a lot of garage sales, and people will slap like a quarter or maybe $1 on them. And I've sold a lot of, not for huge money, but just basic vintage crosscut saws. I'm selling them for 15, 20, 25 bucks a piece, depending on the condition they're in. And like I've learned about, like some of them on the wood, it'll have a pattern engraved in there, like wheat. A lot of them, a wheat saw is what they call them.
Yeah.
I did really well on those this summer.
Yeah, it's crazy when you get into the antique stuff. I mean, you can make really good money. There's one of my favorite ones that I always talk about, and it's hard to find. It's called a Wilton vise, and a vise is the small clamps that you use for woodworking. They have small ones, big ones. Some of them can be 150 pounds. Some of them can be 8 pounds. Wilton is a very good name, but there is also a lot of other vices, especially the small ones that are really good money. That and certain hammers. I love hammers. That you can make, a lot of the small hammers that you put them on the scale, you put the weight, and like I told you guys, gunsmiths and jewelers, they will eat that up. They might have a hammer and it just might be off just a little bit for the weight that they need to do a certain project with a stone or piece of metal, and they'll get that just because you put it on the scale and it weighs 6.2 ounces.
Wow. Yeah, that's one I've honestly never even looked at hammers. Like that's just not one I think about. So
No.
hammers are something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and I went over it on another video, but there's like stiletto hammer is a carpenter hammer that is, when I was in the trades, a lot of the guys would have it. It could be anywhere from $150 to $200 hammer.
Wow.
But that you got to remember there are a boatload of hammers that were used for all different things. I mean, I've had hammers that have big spouts, looks like a just the long nose on it, and that's for electricians. And there's hammers that have soft heads on them. I showed one. I actually still have it here. This, oh, there goes one. This is a soft blow hammer. This way.
There you are. Yep.
And it's very big, guys. It's a sledgehammer, and this is the name of the company is. Let me see if I can get this in here for you guys. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, Lixie. It looks like.
Lexic. I can't pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
But I bought this at a flea market. This hammer is probably about $150.
Wow.
And it's just a sledgehammer. But
wow.
It's actually a salesman. It's actually I came from a salesman from that company in New England, like I said, where a lot of the tools were. There were a lot of tools made up there.
So it sounds like a lot of times it's that might be one I would look at because it's not standard, right? Like it's not I'm not going to walk into a Walmart aisle and see that. So that's the stuff that you should at least slow down and maybe look at. Is it looks different somehow.
And that's what I try to tell everyone is people say, well, how do you know what to buy? And I'm going to tell you, I've never seen it before. Well, what do you mean you've never seen it before? I see thousands of hammers a year, and I'd never seen that one, and I was able to get it for $4, so I bought it. Not that particular hammer, but that's how I go about some of my picking. A lot of you guys are good at a lot of stuff and sneakers and glassware and craft stuff or baseball cards. If you've never seen it and you can get a couple of dollars, and I can't say this enough, even if you lose on it, if you bought it for $4 and you sold it for $3, the knowledge that you learned looking it up and researching it, that is worth a lot more than $1.
Right.
And I was looking up something the other day, Troy, and I don't remember what it was, but I was looking at one thing. I got bumped over to something else, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've had 2 of those. They're worth $80. I sold it at the flea market for like $5.
Wow. But now you know the next time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. How much did you Louis is wondering how much you paid for the sledgehammer?
So I bought a lot of 8 of those hammers, not that size, all different sizes, and I paid up. Like I'll pay up for my stuff. So I paid $175
for the lot.
For the lot of 8. But that hammer alone is going to get me 3/4 of my money.
Pays for it. Yeah.
If I can sell that for 100, I got it listed for like 2 and change. If I can sell it for 150, I'll be 25 under what I paid. So
how do you keep all your stuff straight then? I mean, because you have so many tools, and I have a hard time. Last night I looked for 10 minutes for something. It was in the bin where I thought it was supposed to be. It just moved under something. And I was too flustered. I didn't pick it up and look. And then I went back to that bin. I thought, no, I know it's in here. And sure enough, it was. I wasted my time. But with tools, a lot of them, they're so small, you've got to have a good, essentially a filing system, right?
Yeah, and I do. Thank you for asking that. I actually, some of you guys know I have a small learning disability, so I have to do things at my level to where I'm comfortable with it. And I came up with a system to where I have these bins. I don't want to get up, but I have these bins, and I can show you. Hold on.
Leroy, get up and walk around.
So I have two sets of bins. I have a big shelf, and this is my small one, and I have it numbered. And I put some small stuff in there, and then I have the bigger one that's behind it, and it's these totes, like the mail totes. I have 200. I have 200 of these, and so what I do is I do 25 in a shot. I only do 25 in a shot. So each bin only has 25, and each small box has 25. And so if I'm doing small stuff, I'll be like, okay, small box, and I'll put it in the small box. If it's bigger stuff, then I put it in the big box, and that's it. I don't go over the 25. And I have my shelves have I have these big shelves. I have a warehouse, guys, and my shelves have 4 shelves on them. Each rack has 4 shelves. So I'll do like 1 to 100, 100, 200, 300, the next row, 400, 500. And that for me works. That's my system. Everybody has a different system, but I
You just have to be disciplined about putting that number on that tool on that listing when you create it, right?
Yeah. So I take pictures. If you notice with my stuff, I write a label. I write a label with every picture. So when I take the picture, I first take a picture. Oh, we go. Sorry, guys. I first take a picture of the label so I can see it in my photos.
Okay.
And then I take a picture with the item, and then I take a bunch of pictures of the item. So even though I have 2 of these, I mean, this one is, I have one of, so I have like, it's the same number, but I have it marked.
So
Sorry.
you can see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it marked like 2 of 3 or 1 of 3. So I know, what is what, but everything has a label. Like I put the label in the picture. Some people say, oh, well, you really shouldn't do that. That works for me, and it works very well. Like
Yeah.
you're looking for stuff. I don't lose stuff much, but we all do.
Yeah. Well, that was last night. It was where it was supposed to be. I got in a hurry, didn't look, and then just assumed it's not where it's supposed to be. And so I started looking in all the most ridiculous places, thinking I must have picked it up and set it down somewhere.
Yeah.
No, it's where it was supposed to be. I just didn't actually look hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take a picture, and then I also put it in plastic right away. So
Yeah.
everything has a label, and it's in a plastic bag, or it's in a plastic sleeve. I have a heat sinker, not heat shrink wrap, but I have a bag seamer. So
Okay.
so everything's already in a bag. So I have open totes, but my stuff's still protected.
Yeah. As jealous as I am about just the breadth of knowledge you have on tools, your organization is what really has me impressed, man. Like if we were all as organized as you were, it would be a crazy thing. It would be an amazing thing.
If I showed you the rest of the warehouse, you wouldn't think that. Right now, I have an aisle that goes to my door. I think I have an aisle. But yeah, no, it's not always. With my listings, I have to have it because I don't want to waste time looking for stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, with my listings, I have to have it somewhat organized.
Especially because so many things are so similar. Like if you've got a whole bunch of sockets or a whole bunch of wrenches, or it'd take forever sifting through them trying to figure out which is which.
Yeah, and if you go back into my Instagram about a month back, I did a little tour of my workshop.
Yeah. Any other questions before we let Leroy go? Because I know he's had a long day, and I want to be respectful of his time. And I know a lot of folks jump over to Joey's channel.
Yeah.
Here at right at this time, he's getting ready to kick off his live. So I respect Joey too. That he tells me, "Oh, go as long as you want, do your thing," and I'm like, "No, Joey, that's our thing. We're the double header. I go an hour, and you go however long you go.
Yeah,
that's how we work it." So I'll wait and see if anybody else comes in with any questions, Leroy. But man, I appreciate your time and your willingness to share. If people have any questions, he will get back with you. Follow him on Instagram. Blood, Sweat, and Cell is on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
and Blood, Sweat, and Cell on YouTube as well.
Yeah, just we're waiting on those videos still.
Yeah. We're still waiting. And we're gonna do the first video is gonna be 3 hours later.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Beth says, looking forward to seeing those videos. So see, you got people itching, man. Everything says, thanks again, Suze. And Suze, I still owe you a box, and I got so busy with other stuff I wasn't able to put it together. But Suze won that deal that Joey and I did a little bit ago, and so I'm going to send you a reseller box, Suze. I've actually got the box pulled out to remind me that I need to pull some stuff and put it in it. So I need to go shopping in my own stuff and some stuff to resell. I want to make sure we get you some good stuff. So that is going to be coming. I promise. I didn't forget about you. Joey sent me along your address, so I've got it, and I'm going to get that to you. So guys, I sure appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. Leroy, thanks so much. Any sort of parting words for us today?
Please invite me back.
Yeah, you got it, man. Anytime. Next week, though, guys, it's penciled in right now because he's potentially moving next weekend, and we want to make sure that everything works. But next week, we're jumping in on this thing early. We're talking taxes. Not Your Dad's CPA is coming on. This is right about the time when everybody, especially folks that are new, start going, what about this tax thing? Because it's getting towards the end of the year. So Not Your Dad's CPA coming on. If you want to know anything about reselling and taxes, this is your guy. This is what he does for a living. He's very, very good at it, and he's very good at making the complicated understandable for people like me. So I can understand what he's talking about when it comes to numbers and taxes. So that's going to be, fingers crossed. It's penciled in next week at the same time, right here on Mountain Man Treasure. So come by for that. I've got what solds and stuff like that coming along this week. And Leroy is going to be showing, what do you got on Instagram this week?
You guys got to come and check it out.
You gotta find out at the same time Leroy does. When is he coming on Gateway? He's going to be on next week, Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to do that. Not Your Dad's CPA. So bring your tax questions, your reselling questions. I think it's going to be a really good show. I'm really excited that he's willing to do that. So that is next Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Joe Philly Picker says, thanks for sharing all your knowledge. Leroy, Nikki T says, great show. We have great subs and great viewers. So thank you guys all for coming in. I'm going to let Leroy go and say goodnight. Oh, look at what are you doing, man? Now you're dropping another one, and I'm trying to get out of here, and Leroy's giving me another one.
Have a good day, Troy. Thank you so much.